legs are out. Does that make sense? All right. So if you want to start to pick your spot and find that spot, but you can sit in it, because then I'm going to actually do a little bit of time spending, just explaining to you what we're actually doing. Most of you know that we're going to be doing, you can look at me first. You don't have to be back to me rude. I'm just kidding. All right. So most of you know that we're going to be doing some breath work today. Just so you, full caveat, I am in the middle of a teacher's training, which is why we've done light breath work today, or in this class before. When we do it in class, it's more just like to relax. It's whenever we've done our hold and those types of things. That's not new to this class. What is new to this class is the form we're going to be doing today. I've been doing this breath work myself for well over a year now. And then I elected to actually do the teacher's training for it. It's inspired by Wim Hof himself. Does anybody not know who Wim Hof is? Do you know? So Wim Hof is this guy from the Netherlands. All right. He, back in I think like the 60s, 50s, really kind of cultivated this process of breath work that enabled him to do cold exposure, ice plunging, that type of stuff. And now he's been world renowned for doing much more incredible things than even just that. Literally like practically naked climbing to the top of Mount Everest and things like that. All that's just to say is that the breath work is such a meaningful tool because what it allows us to do is it allows us to manipulate the chemistry of our body so that we can decide how to control our stress tolerance, our CO2 tolerance, and those types of things. All right. Quick note on physiology of what's going to happen today. All right. We're going to do 3 rounds. All right. 3 rounds of the so-called breath work. It is work. It's not easy. I will guide you through almost every breath along the way, but know that you're going to be spending about 2 minutes at a time, 3, maybe even 4 minutes at a time with this cycle of breath, and that's going to lead you up into a hold. All right. You're going to hold your breath at the end of that with your lungs completely empty. All right, so we're going to take one last big inhale, one last big exhale. Your lungs are going to be empty, and then I'm going to ask you to hold your breath. First round, you're going to be holding your breath for a minute. Then it's going to be 90 seconds, and then it's going to be 2 minutes. All right, you may be looking at me like you're fucking nuts. I've never held my breath past 20 seconds, let alone 2 minutes. Here's why it works. All right, does anybody know or maybe assume why it might actually work? Anyone want to guess? Yes, you over-oxygenate. So the breath work, the whole reason we're doing it is because we're flooding our bodies with oxygen, right? So your body has the capacity of filling up to 100% oxygen, let's say, right? We're going to get it very close to 100% through those breaths that we're going to be doing for 3 to 4 minutes, all right? Then you empty your lungs. It doesn't mean just because you're emptying your lungs, you're emptying your body of oxygen. You're fully enriched with oxygen, all right? What's beautiful about this is through that process, you may start to feel some things. All right, those, what kinds of things do you say, Troy? Tingling. Some people will sometimes feel warm. Sometimes you'll feel cold. Sometimes you might feel super uncomfortable. Let it ride. Just sense everything. Let everything you feel happen. All right, even if you get uncomfortable, even if you feel like the breathing part is hard, just try to keep in the rhythm. All right. When you get to that empty breath, what then starts to happen is CO2 starts to metabolize because your oxygen is starting to go down and your body's consuming it. Do you know how that works? Does anybody actually know how that works? No? So mitochondria, right, which is kind of, it's the magic center in all of your cells. It metabolizes oxygen. When it metabolizes the oxygen, it distributes the nutrients to the rest of your body, right? But the exchange is that your body then produces CO2. CO2 is a toxin, which is why we always need to exhale it. So as your oxygen levels are being metabolized, your CO2 levels are going up. There's that sweet spot where they cross. That is the moment you feel like you have to take a breath. It's not because you're out of oxygen, it's because you have too much CO2 in your system, right? Get that? So whenever you're in a moment when you're working out and you're like, fuck, I need to breathe, it's because you've generated way too much CO2 in your body because most of us don't breathe very well. A lot of times because we're carrying a lot of stress, we're shallow breath, those are normal things. So this is also a great practice in developing a better breathing pattern, knowing what full breath actually means, which you can therefore carry to other parts of your life. So then what happens is at that point, before you get to that point, suddenly your body starts to release a lot of serotonin and norepinephrine. Anybody know what those mean? Serotonin is the hormone that basically makes you focus. It's like your brain is like, something's going on, suddenly my oxygen is dropping, my CO2 is going up, what the fuck? So it's trying to focus, that's serotonin. Norepinephrine is the thing that actually starts to like make your body organs and everything shut down, turn on, and all those things to get your body to get out of the situation you're in. That's what happens. So that one is the primary hormone that your body starts to pay attention to. That's where the beauty happens. When your body starts to focus on the fact that you're releasing all this norepinephrine, you start to get some great benefits. It actually starts to release inflammation. It actually starts to release stress. It starts to calm your body down. You'll start to feel like you might fall into the floor, sometimes even float. It's those types of things that happen. And then it's not done. We get to the end of that minute, that 90 seconds, that 2 minutes, guess what I let you do? You take in a big, big deep breath, and we're gonna hold that breath for 15 to 20 seconds. Guess what happens at that point? Your body's like, oh shit, I'm not in trouble. What happens when your body or your brain recognizes that you're actually safe from a situation that seems dangerous? It relaxes how? What does it release, do you know? Dopamine. It starts to flood dopamine into your system. You know what dopamine does? It's like a drug, right? That's where you're like, woo-wee, right? It's gonna be beautiful, all right? So then at that point, you're gonna start to really feel this like sense of joy, this sense of, full disclosure, whenever I get to that point, I usually cry. It's a beautiful cry. It's not a sad cry. It's like this overwhelming sense of joy and just peace and tranquility and calm, okay? I know we've already talked about it. Some people that have done stuff like this, they've cried as well, all right? So these things may happen, all right? Anybody uncomfortable with any of that? Anybody worried? Anybody excited? Yeah? Real questions. Anybody pregnant? Bruno? No? Okay. Anybody at risk of having like epileptic seizures?
Oh shit, okay, no.
No. Don't scare me like that,
No,
bro.
no, like, oh shit, okay, like, you're asking, like, questions.
Those are legit things, right? So we don't want to be fucking with chemistry when you're either pregnant because we don't know how the child's going to tolerate it, or if you're at risk of everybody else is fine. Cool. You ready?
Excited.
All right. So let's go ahead and lay down. What I want you guys to do is go ahead and turn it around so that your heads are in the middle. All right. I'll keep checking in with you guys. First, I just want you guys to relax. Take it easy. Start to notice how your body feels. Just be thankful that you are here. Now I want everybody to collectively take in a big inhale. Let it out with a big exhale. Take in another big inhale. Let it out with a big exhale. Another big inhale. Now let it out with a big exhale and a sigh. I want more sighs. So a big inhale. Big sigh. Nothing to be shy about. Let the noise just give you a little internal massage. Big inhale. Big sigh out. There we go, getting better. Big inhale. Big sigh out. Good. Now, as you're doing that, keep up with that big inhale, nice little sigh. We're going to talk about how I want you to breathe before actually getting into it. So I want everybody to take one hand and put it on your belly. And I want you to take the other hand and put it on the space between your chest and your throat. All right? So now, I want you to go ahead and take a big breath in and try to push it all down into that belly so that lower hand rises. Let it out with a big sigh. Big breath into that belly. Let it out with that sigh. Big breath into that belly. Make sure the chest isn't rising. Isolate the belly and let it out with a sigh. Big breath into the belly. Let it out with that sigh. Big breath into that belly. Let it out with that sigh. Belly. Sigh. And now let's try to switch it. Try to take your next big breath in and bring it up into your chest, but let the belly stay flat. Let it out with a sigh. Big breath up into that chest. Let it out with that sigh. Big breath into that chest. Let it out with that sigh. And as you're thinking about that breath, I want you to start to switch it so that the inhales are happening with that nose and the exhales are happening with the mouth. So big breath into that chest through the nose and let out that sigh through the mouth. And also, when you're letting those exhales out, keep going. Start to think of it as you're letting your belly diaphragm drop and the air is just coming out with one, and you're not really pushing it out anymore. It's just collapsing out. So big breath into that chest, and then you just let it out. Big breath into that chest, and you let it out. So now we switch back into that belly first, then into the chest, then we let it out. Big breath into the belly, then into the chest, then let it out. Big breath into that belly, into the chest, let it out. Belly, chest, let it out. Belly, chest, let it out. Full lungs. Keep the eyes closed and focus on the breath. Let it out. Big breath into the belly, into the chest. Let it out. Big breath into the belly, into the chest. Let it out. Belly, 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 chest. Let it out. We are in. Belly, chest. Let it out. Belly, chest. Let it out. Belly, chest. Beautiful. Let it out. Belly, chest. Let it out. Belly, chest, let it out. Beautiful. Belly, chest, let it out. Keep at that pace. You're doing the work. Whatever it is you feel, let it happen. The tingling may start to happen, maybe some crampiness in your fingers and toes. That's okay. Let it happen. Belly, chest, let it out. Belly, chest, let it out. Good, keep it going. Belly, chest, let it out. Don't force it out, just let it drop. Belly, chest, let it collapse out. Belly, don't force it out, just let it drop. There you go. In, let it drop. Don't push it out, just let it drop. In, drop. There you go. Belly, chest, let it drop. Belly, chest, let it drop. Belly, chest, let it drop. Big belly, big chest, let it drop. Big belly, big chest, let it drop. You're almost there. Big belly, big chest, let it drop. 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 2 more breaths. Big belly, big chest, let it drop. Big belly, big chest, let it drop. Last big inhale, take it all in, take it all in. Big breath, big breath, big breath. Let it all out slowly with an exhale and hold. Hold. Enjoy the moment. Maybe make it feel like you're still exhaling. That makes it a little easier. Hold. Notice what you're feeling, if anything at all. If you have to take a breath, just raise your hand. Otherwise, keep going. Five, 4, 3, 2. Big inhale. Hold your breath at the top. Full lungs. Big exhale. Return to a slow, controlled breath. Give me a big thumbs up in the air if you're okay. Everyone. Thumbs up in the air if you're okay. You okay? Good. That is round 1. Ready for round 2? Someone got hot or cold. Here we go. Ready? Let's go back in. Belly, chest, let it fall. Belly, chest, let it fall. Belly, chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Don't push the air out, let it collapse. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. 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 Just not forcing any of it. Filling those lungs up, letting the exhale collapse. Filling those lungs up, letting the lungs collapse. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. 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 There you go, you're doing the thing. Just go through it. Whatever feelings come up, go with them. Don't judge them, don't analyze them, don't worry about them, just let them happen. Big belly, big chest, big belly, big chest, let it fall. 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 Beautiful, big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. 10 more breaths. Big breath, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. 4 more breaths. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Big belly, big chest, let it fall. Here we go. Big inhale. And big slow exhale and hold. And again, keep that sensation that you're still slowly letting air out. 9. If you need to take a breath, raise your hand. Go ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Hold at the top. And let it out. Return to your breath. And just be. Let all the feeling happen, whatever it is. Put that thumbs up in the air if you're okay. Raise it high, can't see everybody. All right, keep enjoying. That was round 2. 3rd round, last round. Here we go. Big belly, big chest, let it out. 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 Don't force it, just fill up the lungs and let it out with a big relax. Big belly, big chest, big big belly, big chest, let it out. 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 Good. Keep going. Keep it steady. Don't speed it up. Don't force it. Feel the parts. Big into the belly. Big into the chest. Then let it out with the drop. Big in. Big out. Shouldn't be a tense thing. Try to relax it. Big breath in. Big drop out. Big belly. Big chest. Let it out. Big in. Big out. Whatever you're feeling, whether it's tingling, discomfort, let it happen. You're all safe on the floor. Nothing's gonna go anywhere. Big belly, big chest, let it out. Big belly, big chest, let it out. Big belly, then into the chest, let it out. Big belly, big chest, let it out. You're doing fantastic. Big belly, big chest, let it out. Big belly, big chest, big belly, big chest, big belly, big chest, let it out. 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 Almost there. Big belly. Big chest. Let it out. Don't force it. Keep it steady. Big belly, big chest, let it drop. Big belly, big chest, let it out. 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 5 more breaths. Big belly, big chest, let it out. 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 Last one. Big inhale, big slow exhale, and hold. As you hold, make it feel like you're still slowly exhaling. Take it all in. Imagine you're still slowly exhaling, noticing everything you feel. Raise your hand if you have to take a breath in. Otherwise, keep going. We're almost there. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Hold at the top. Big exhale. Return to your breath. Just let all the things happen. Start to bring some awareness in, maybe wiggling those toes a little. Maybe those fingers a little. Maybe start to roll through the ankles, through the wrists. Slightly rolling that head from side to side. Maybe rocking hips from side to side a little bit. Getting some movement back into that body. Raise that big thumb if you're good. Good. Take your time. If you don't want to move just yet, you're more than welcome to stay where you're at. ¿Cómo fue? See? So, hi. I'm high. Is anybody else a little high? Yeah. Yay, we get to sit and chat. What's that? One more time? Sure. Yeah. How we doing? Any thoughts? Let's do more. Yeah? I'm all for it. You might expect this at least every other week. Yeah? Why? What did you feel? What went on? He's like, I can't move. I'm gonna come back here because I don't want my back toward anybody. You can go longer? Well, you don't need to go longer. So we maxed out the benefit. So if anybody ever tells you, oh, go for a minute, go for 4 or 5 rounds, unnecessary. You just maxed out. Talk to me. What was that?
My body was sneaking in small breaths.
It was what?
Like snuck in a couple of small breaths.
Yeah, it's okay.
After that, I was like, no.
I saw you at one point, you were here. Like, no, don't give up, don't give up. It was super cute.
I was gonna point that out too. It's like that freak out moment where your body's
So that's part of the magic, right? Your brain always wants to like, mayday, mayday, but your body is full of oxygen. It doesn't need it at that moment. It's just that your CO2 is creeping up, so your brain is like reacting to the CO2, not the fact that it's filled with oxygen. It doesn't react to oxygen, it reacts to the CO2.
I didn't want to take the breath. Like it was when he said to breathe, like I didn't.
That happens to me. Sometimes I just want to kind of keep going. I was like, this is.
And then when I actually took the breath, like I don't know, like that sensation was like kind of overwhelming. So I think next time, like I didn't want to not breathe somehow.
I'm not ready for the rush.
And now I'm finished. It was good. It was awesome. And then noticing what like how tense my body gets when it's like freaked out moment.
Yeah.
And then you take that breath and like.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. You were gonna ask me.
Of course.
Honestly, like there was a moment there. I think it was like the second round. I literally felt like I was air floating above my body.
Yeah.
Like it was here. Like I was up here and my body was still down there.
Okay.
Like, I didn't want to like. I felt like Bruno. Like I didn't want to like when you said to breathe again. Like I didn't want to breathe again.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to hold it a little longer because I felt like I was literally outside of my body.
Yeah.
Like I was here.
Did anybody have to take a breath in earlier than time? You did. Okay.
My body freaked out for like a
Yeah. Okay. On all the rounds, last round?
second and third.
I just did it because my brain was like, you need to be. And then I was like, why do you?
You're like, damn it, cops out.
It's like as soon as you said hold your breath, like, and my saliva, like, it's as if like my body's like, oh, but you need to like swallow, and I'm like, no, like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Like, it's like as soon as it's like.
It goes back to the
I didn't have to take a breath, but I had to like.
Like swallow a
Yeah.
little bit,
Oh.
moisten the throat a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's like that, and it happened. It's just like, whoa, is my body trying to trick me to just have me do something? that
Hey, your
requires
brain will
breath?
think. Yeah, your brain will think of crafty things to like get that breath in.
That's a natural biological
Yeah.
reaction. I don't know if you notice or ever happens. Like sometimes you're in class and you're learning something new, but new things is uncomfortable because your brain has to work. So you start yawning, and it's something.
Yeah, I yawn a lot when I do this stuff.
It's a distraction.
Yeah.
Notice when you've ever gone to a symphony or a concert,
Uh-huh.
everybody gets itchy throat in the middle of like when the music ends. Like, why does in every single concert I've gone to that happens? Why? Because the brain is uncomfortable and like it just does something
No, that's
to
right.
distract you, and it's like coughing, salivating, choking, and you're like, what is this?
When I said we were going longer, you had the most visceral reaction to how long we were going to be holding your breath. How does it feel to have held your breath for 2 minutes?
I held my breath for 2 minutes.
You all held your breath for 2 minutes on that last round.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
First, yep.
Exactly what happened.
First round was 1 minute.
It felt like 5 seconds. Because when you said please or breathe, and I was like, I could hold this longer. So I kept thinking, why is it making us do this for sure?
That's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Einstein's law. Einstein's law.
Yeah. So I'll stop saying that in the beginning. So you have no idea. But yeah, so your first round was a full minute. Your second round was 90 seconds. Your third round was 2 full minutes. Whoa. And you could have held it longer. You see?
Well, I guess I could hold it longer on the inhale. The inhale was not 2 minutes.
You think so.
The inhale was 2 minutes?
No, the inhales were 20 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, the inhales were, the exhale is where you held the longest.
Okay,
Yeah. So what happens with the inhale, and the reason we don't hold on the inhale is because when you, even though intuitively you're thinking, well, I'm filling my lungs with oxygen. Again, we've already flooded your system with oxygen, so you don't need a full lung. And when you hold at the top of a breath, you add that tension in, which makes for a very uncomfortable hold, right? So we want you relaxed, so it's better to hold on the exhale because now your body can kind of just melt because you're not holding all that tension up in your chest, right?
I had like, a lot of things in my head this morning, a lot of situations. So I try to leave everything at the door, and everything was good. 2 rounds. Third round, I let the thoughts creep back in my head, and I'm thinking about that versus like holding and relaxing, and that's like, I had to take breath at my last hold, which I usually never, ever, ever, ever. But because I was somewhere else,
Yeah.
and tension, and like it takes energy. my body's
Absolutely.
like, that's what you get.
Absolutely. How about you guys over here? How'd that go? Yeah?
I think I spent the entire time
Yeah?
just like,
So, and you know, if this is your first time doing this kind of thing, that's part of why it is a valuable practice. It's not just something you do once in a blue moon, because, you know, it's funny. The last time I did this on, what was it, Friday night, there was someone in the group, and when we were doing our circle and talking about it, it was funny. She's like, man, that was the first time my brain shut off in like 5 years. You know, because that's the thing. You got, and like Susie says, right? If you have to come into this kind of thing with a very clear intention of like, okay, this is the work I'm doing today. Nothing else is going to get in the way, so you just focus on the breath. But because if you're not, yeah, you're floating, you're elsewhere, you know.
well,
Yeah.
I think this like anxiety about like what is this? Breathing right.
Right.
I feel right.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. It's like a practice with everything else. You know, the more we do it. Hello, Rain. Yeah. If you're breathing, you're doing it right.
I'm not sure about this.
Yeah. The thing at one point, like so in the beginning with you, I did come and adjust you because you were pushing your breath out. You know, you're doing that, right? So those are little things that we do. What happens is, and it's not that that's wrong, we're trying to avoid certain things. So I've done breath work before where they do force you to push out. And what ends up happening is because you're really messing with your pH levels, your body starts to cramp up, right? And so we don't need that to happen. You can have a perfect ride with what we're trying to do without that happening, which is why we want the light, like, light, keeping it light. It doesn't like surge pH levels or anything like that. So, you know.
I have a lot of pain in my neck, you know, I have shoulder issues.
Yeah.
So, like, breathing, like, I started having a lot of pain here. I was just breathing, I was like so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The pushing and everything, I feel like all here was
Yeah.
really uncomfortable.
Yeah. And with time, like again, if this is the type of thing you start to make a practice, it will melt all that stuff. Like everything just starts to kind of shimmy away, you know, relax. How are you, Miss Mullen? Yeah?
It's fascinating how like you can go from just lying there to all of a sudden have this like overwhelming response.
What was it? What did it feel like?
Just sensations, like it's hard to describe, like a tingling, warm kind of, but like slightly overwhelming emotionally
Okay.
sensation.
What was overwhelming? Like, was it a physical overwhelming or?
No.
Yeah? Emotional overwhelming? Yeah?
But then it, like during the breath work,
Yeah.
and then when like holding breath out.
Yeah. How did that part feel when you guys were holding your breath out?
I felt like I put on like noise cancellation, but it was like with energy and thought, and I was
Yeah.
feeling my body work.
Yeah.
Like what you were talking about, the cell, the CO2, the
Yeah.
oxygen. Like I literally was like front row, and I was like,
I'm watching my cells on film.
like the tingling, like my lips. I would feel like minor, not cramps, but like yeah, like just sensations on my lips, my fingers, and I'm like, oh my goodness, all this is happening all the time, and I'm just like busy, you know, with the world. But then when you're here, like isolated, like it just hit home,
Yeah.
and that's what it was.
Did anybody get particularly hot or cold? Yeah? Yeah, cold? Hot? Yeah, that's going to be all over the place. Some people get super cold. Some hot. Anybody feel like they were cramping up? No? Anywhere?
I just felt
In the tent? Yeah?
the pain going up higher, like increasing here.
It was funny. So Friday again, there was two people. They're like, yeah, and you know, I felt when that draft came into the room, and we're all looking like, what draft? There was no draft. Did anybody feel a draft? You're like, yeah, I did actually. No wind in here. But yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. So wait, is that a request to do this more often?
Oh yeah.
Are others in favor of that? Maybe even a class that's focused on breath work?
And with the cold plunge,
And with a cold plunge coming soon to theater near you.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's why I'm doing my teacher's training.
And that's the same thing, like the cold exposure, the exposure part, be it sauna, be it cold, it's the same thing. Like when you're facing a workout and you're out of breath, like how many times have I been lucky enough to like, you know, I'm not a coach at all, but I'm a massage therapist, I have knowledge of body. This guy pushes himself really hard, this guy pushes himself really hard, and I see them like regulate through breath how many exhales I got to get that heat out of the body. This guy's also like long distance stuff, and it's like beautiful to watch these monsters in the good way, like regulate. And it's like the power of the body. You have those tools at hand, and these practices allow you to like anchor into that repetition practice. So when you're facing like a hardcore row or a hardcore like ski or like on the something cardio wise or even cycling of a barbell, you go back to the breath and you're like, oh, I got it, because your brain's not freaking out. Your brain's just like, okay, let me deploy power now. So these are all very, very helpful tools.
Thank you. Well, again, thank you all for indulging me. We have 10 minutes. Let's move a little bit. Keep it easy. I know you guys don't want like hard. We're not going to do anything crazy hard. We're just going to stretch some tight spots. All right. We always stretch. Here's what I want you guys to do. Let's go ahead and find ourselves in a position like so. All right. It very well, if you want to relax out and hang out here, that is absolutely okay. All right. Let's get that left foot out in front of us. Try to keep a nice straight left leg. Let's get that right leg out to our 90-degree angle. So there's 90 degrees at the pelvis, basically, at the groin. Let's also try to find that right foot at an angle, so flexed at that foot. And then what I want you to actually try to think about doing, you don't have to like really crank into it, but try to think about taking this right hip, because it's probably elevated for most of us, right? So we're going to try to get that hip to drop. So eventually getting ourselves upright, and if you can get upright over this left leg to the point where you can almost let go, then what I want you to start to do is drop over that left leg in front. We're just nice and easy, hang out there for a little bit. Again, we just went through a glorious breath work. No need to get ourselves all tense all of a sudden. So just try to melt into it. If it's really, really uncomfortable through that right hip, one way to help is if you pull that right heel closer to your glute. So flex the knee a little bit on that right side. And just take some nice deep breaths. You don't have to do your breathwork breath, but take in a nice big breath and maybe try to melt into it more deeply on the exhale. Took it out of you? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be in that right hip. That's most of the focus right now. So try to lean into that right hip. Yeah. I did Friday. I did not. No, did I? No, I didn't either, actually. The running and jumping on Thursday crushed my feet. If you're pushing into it, it'll just feel locked up for some people. Maybe not for you. You look pretty good. Most people get really locked up right in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? Yeah.
I'm terrible. Like, I'm just in pain. I literally cracked and this way on my back, on my right hand side. So I literally lunged on one leg the whole time. I was like,
So now if you're here, what I want you to do is I want you to come back up. And now I want you to actually reach for the back foot. Hand is going to come to the thigh. And now try to find yourself into a nice gentle twist into that right side. Again, so you're still trying to drop that right hip into the floor, but you're also now trying to turn that trunk, so it's almost as if you're trying to get your belly button over that right leg. Try to keep your chest up, shoulders back if you can. Try to relax the shoulders from shrugging from those ears. You're right there, sir. Best thing you can do is try to think about raising the crown of your head towards the ceiling so you get up nice and tall as you're pulling into that right hip. And maybe even starting to push into the floor through that left foot, almost as if you're trying to push yourself away from your left leg into that right leg. Now soften the twist. Go ahead and take both hands back behind you. And now try to take that right leg and open it as much as you possibly can. Don't let that left leg swing. Ooh. Good. Now relax it all. We're going to switch to the other side. So the right leg is going to go out. Left leg is going to be the one to the side and behind. Different side, different experience. So don't expect it to feel just like it did on the other. This side may be a little bit more forgiving, maybe a little more challenging. So first things first, if you're kicked way out, we're going to start that journey with trying to get upright over that right leg. Eventually, if we can get to a point where we feel fairly comfortable here, then we can take that descend over that leg. Otherwise, just keep trying to get that left hip to drop. If this is too aggressive in here, all you need to do is bring this heel in a little bit. It'll loosen some of that tension in that leg so you can get a little further upright. We're going to hang there for about a minute. If you feel comfortable in that left hip, then maybe start to hover over that right leg. Try to get this back a little bit. Come on, push into it. There you go. Good. There you go. Hi. There you go. Good. Big breaths in. On the exhale, try to melt into it a little bit more deeply. Good. Try to think about tipping from here, from your pelvis. Not so much of a hunch over. There you go. Beautiful. I love a nice rainy day. If you want to start to come up, when you come up, then it's that left hand to the foot, right to the thigh. Find yourself in that twist. And as you're in that twist, again, think about that crown of your head trying to reach up towards the ceiling so you're nice and tall in that spine. And you're trying to get that right hip to drop. Ooh. Trying to pull those shoulders back, relax in that upper body. Yeah, you can. Of course you can. Come on. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good, Scott. Hold it, hold it. Keep pushing into it, push into it, push into it. Breathe into it. Let's go, Brew. Give me that big breath you always give me. Atta boy. There you go. Now relax the twist a little bit and try to take that left knee up, pip that foot into the floor, and then try to raise that knee. You can lean back if you have to. Just try to keep a straight spine. Try to keep both hips into the floor, and just try to open. Oh my God, it's like giving birth.
A pineapple.
Un pineapple. Una piña. Let's go, girl. Come on, girl. Ah. Ah. All these sounds, I love it. That's what mobility is all about. I guess we did have to do this. We needed the sounds. It wasn't a complete day without them. And go ahead and let that soften. Let's go ahead and take both legs in front. Yep, together. Trying to keep those legs straight. Let's go ahead and just find a nice gentle fold over those legs. If you need to reach for a part of your leg that you can grab onto, wherever that is, doesn't matter. If you can actually reach your feet, fine. If it's got to be the shins, fine. But try to get a grip of something. And here's why. When you've got that grip, I want you to start to pull yourself, but don't pull your shoulders. I want you to start to pull your belly forward. All right, so what we're actually trying to do is get your belly button to trace across the top of your legs, not your shoulders getting further over. That way we're trying to keep a nice straight spine as best as we possibly can. And we're trying to pull our belly further, further, further down those legs. Again, always a good idea, especially in a position like this, to take in a big deep breath into that belly. You're gonna feel it almost push you away from where you're trying to go. But then when you go for that big exhale, the exhale will let you melt into it a little bit more deeply. But again, I want all that focus and attention to be from that belly. It's the belly that's trying to go forward, not the shoulders. Let's go. This ain't so bad. This ain't so bad. Go. Go from here. Don't sit on it. Jerk. Keep taking those big deep breaths. We're gonna hold here for about 30 more seconds. Big breath, big melt on the exhale. Maybe even play with wiggling the ankles, get those legs to soften a little bit by rolling the ankles, toes wiggle. There you go. Big breath, big exhale, try to relax. Go ahead and let it relax. Let's go ahead and roll onto our back. I want you to bring your right leg with you. So knee tuck into that chest. Now, while you're here, I want you to create two opposing forces. I want you to pull that right leg in, but I want you to think about dropping that left leg and pointing it outward across the room. Slight press into the floor perhaps with that left leg. So left hip is trying to extend that left leg. Right hip is trying to flex that right knee in. Two opposing forces. Again, nice big deep breath. On that exhale, maybe try to pull that right leg even further in. Keep that left